This is Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports here with Napheesa Collier, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the WNBA, but also the co-founder of a new basketball league, Unrivaled. It's kind of crazy that we are super close to tip-off for that. Feels like I just saw you in the finals. What kind of time off did you take after the finals, and how has your preparation changed knowing that you're going to be playing three-on-three basketball this offseason?
Yeah. So I took about a week off from everything and then I started weightlifting again. I haven't started basketball yet. I'll start that like within the next week or so. But I think just for me, like taking a break from basketball is really important just to kind of decompress, let my body heal in that way and my mind as well. But I'm really excited to ramp up for Unrivaled. Of course, this has been in the works for like 2 years, so I can't wait to get started. So definitely, yeah, going to start ramping up here really soon. So I'll be ready.
I know you've played overseas before and you took last off season, maybe the season before off, but do you usually take only 1 week away from basketball or is it usually longer?
No, I've taken about a month, or I haven't played basketball since the season ended, but I weightlifted about a week. I usually shut down for like a couple months after I'm done playing. Last year, I went to Turkey the day after our season was over. But I was only there for 2 weeks and I came home. I shut it down for a while and then I went back. So I didn't get a huge break last year, but usually I shut down for quite a while.
You guys announced the names of your six clubs. You're going to do a club selection. And reading through the rules, very unique. It's almost kind of like a playground format. How did you guys come up with this and why did you want to do it this way?
Yeah, so we wanted to do it this way. Like everything we're doing is to maximize like the talent of the players. So 3-on-3 is because we're taking away two people from each team so you can see the skill of these players more. Like the rules are made for that. But at the end of the day, we want it to be like really quality basketball. So even in 5-on-5, traditionally, a lot of actions are three-man actions. So we're still going to be able to run plays. Like it's going to look like real basketball. We're just going to have more room to do and like you're going to see all of our talent because we're going to have more room to create and more space to be able to attack and like show our skill set. So that's what we're really excited about.
When it comes to the actual picking of teams where coaches are designing these teams to be fair, but then they don't know which team is theirs, how did that come
Mm-hmm.
about for you guys?
Well, we want it to be a really competitive league, so we needed to split everybody up so the teams were as even as possible. And so that's why we did it with the coaches because obviously they know basketball really well. It's not like the players are going to pick our team. We felt like they were a qualified group to be able to do that. And then obviously they can't know their teams before because they're going to try to stack them. So we wanted to ensure that it was equal because they didn't know who they were going to get. So they had to make all the teams equal. So it was a really fun process to do that, and then them finding out what teams they ultimately are coaching. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it was really great process.
Did they already pick those teams?
No, I think it's tomorrow. I think just the process of how they chose the teams was really fun. They said so. Obviously, I
Got
haven't seen that because I don't know what the teams are. But tomorrow, I think we all find out like who the coaches are, who's on what team, and all that stuff.
Yeah. When it comes to the coaches, you announced them last week, some big names, including Theresa Weatherspoon. Why did you choose these coaches? What went into it? What was the draw for you making this pitch?
Mm-hmm. A lot of it was so a lot of the coaches are player development coaches. A huge part of our league is we still want the players to get better. So having player development people in the head coaching positions was really important to us. And obviously Teaspoon, like she's been around the game for so long, she's had head coaching experience. We just thought it was really important to have people who are really knowledgeable in the space who can develop players and get them better because ultimately that's our goal is to create better basketball players at the end of the season.
You'd also, there's so much news that you have all announced in the last couple of weeks. You guys announced the 850 seat venue in Miami versus finding a place to play there. Why did you go that route of building your own venue?
I think so we could customize it into anything we wanted. We've said from the very beginning we want this to be a top tier experience for players and fans both. And so we felt that by being able to create it ourselves, we could customize it to exactly how we wanted. It could be to our level of standards. And so ultimately that's like what was best for us. And of course, it's always fun to be able to create something your own that's your own, instead of having to mold to a different what's already there.
With attendance boosting in the WNBA and in NCAA, is there a concern that the venue is too small? Is this what you were targeting? How do you
Mhm.
feel about that?
Yeah, we created the venue small on purpose. So we always knew it was going to be too small, but we wanted that environment because first of all, again, we're creating this area, like we couldn't build a full stadium, but also like to give that exclusive feel, to give that like it's going to be full in there every single night. And then we're going to be so content based. Like, of course, we got that deal with TNT, like you can watch us on TV and stuff, but we wanted the experience in arena to be feel really special. And so that's why we kind of decided to go with the smaller number in the end.
Are there initial plans to grow that or to move to a different space?
So we are here for 2 years. We signed a 2 year lease in Florida. So we'll have the same arena for next year. But in the future, I mean, we are the good thing about being a startup league is we can do whatever we want, right? Like, so if we feel like we should expand in the future, we'll see what it looks like after year two. But yeah, I think just like getting through these 2 years, see how everything is, like see what works, see what doesn't, and then making the plans for the future later.
You co-founded this league with Brianna Stewart, and of course, your husband Alex is involved. When you and Stewie get to Miami, how do you envision your days looking like as players, but also co-founders? Are you taking a back seat? Is Alex taking a front seat in just kind of the day-to-day running?
Yeah, so Alex is more on the operations side, of course. I won't really be in the operations, I'll be in season, I'm playing. So I think our day to day is we have practice and lift during the days. Everybody has Tuesdays off, like across the league. And then just depending on what your schedule is, like you'll have lift and practice. And then your day is like free to do what you want. We have content, like each player has 2 hours of content a week. So we'll be doing stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I actually don't know exactly what it's going to look like aside from, practices, lifts, and that content, but super excited.
Can you give us any ideas on what that content is going to look like? Are you feeding into certain trends or looking to be on certain platforms more? Or do you guys have meetings already, probably on what that looks like?
Yeah, so a lot of it, I mean, it'll be based on like the sponsorships that we have. So activating with different brands. We're gonna have things from like podcasts to docu series to behind the scenes to get ready with me. Like a huge part of this league is building our brands because we make so much of our money, most of our money off the court instead of on the court. Building our brand is a huge part of being an athlete nowadays, and so we want to be able to capitalize on that and to grow everyone's brand while they're there. And so we want to, that's why we want it to be so heavy content based. So we're going to have pretty much everything that content wise. Like I said, podcasts, get ready with me, behind the scenes, all that stuff. All of that is in, our bag that we're looking to, explore this season.
On the content and marketing topic, you had told us maybe a year or so ago that there were going to be cameras everywhere because you did want to expose that as part of your marketing and everything. Is that still the case?
Yeah, we have a bunch of content people that we've hired, just again to capture everything. Like while we're at the facility, we want to capture as much content as we can. We want to give like a full access to the athletes. It's really interesting to see like what a day in the life of an athlete is, like what it looks like when we're not on the court. And so I think trying to capture as much as that as possible is what our goal is.
The former Lynx GM, Claire Dualis, uh,
Dualitas, yeah.
yes, thank you, left the Lynx to be the Unrivaled Executive VP and GM. Just your relationship with her and bringing her over, why was it important to you to do that, and what can she bring to Unrivaled?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I obviously love Claire. I've been with her for 6 years with the Lynx. I think she just has such a great ability to not only connect with players, but to like put out fires before they even happened. Like she's so innovative in what she does. She's so detail oriented. And I think she's the best in her field. And so obviously that's why we want to get the best of everyone at Unrivaled. And I really feel like we did that with Claire.
You have a star-studded, you're building out, it seems like a star-studded front office at
Mm-hmm.
Unrivaled. I know we've talked a lot about just your pitch and the pitch deck of this league to others, but how does adding all of those come about for a startup?
Yeah. I think it just snowballs. Like you get one person to believe in you, and that's all you need, honestly. And we believed in ourselves so heavily. So Alex was the one, going out pitching everybody. And so once that happens, then you get connections and they introduce you to another person. And it was really gratifying to see just how much people believed in our business plan and what we're trying to build. Uh, everyone was like super impressed with how fleshed out we had everything, like what our model is. And so I think it was just, again, just really gratifying to see that. And so through that, we were able to get the best people in all their fields. I think people know like when something is going to work, and they all felt that. So having people who believe in you so heavily as a part of our team was really important to us.
Is there anything else? I think we're about 2 months out from tip off finally. Is there anything else you want to add, tell us about, just talk about when it comes to the league?
Yeah. I mean, tickets go on sale tomorrow. So I think that's really fun. Everyone's been hounding us about that. So tickets go on sale tomorrow. So I think just, grab them while they can. We talked about it's a small venue. So really excited to kind of see all the people that are going to be there, and, merch is going on sale. So I think just being aware of those dates and following us so you can be kept up to date.
Well, it's awesome to hear more about the league as we get closer and closer. Can't believe it's almost January. Fee, thank you
I
so
know.
much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.